I'm really excited for you to see this video because it's pretty much the first time that Battle Axe in its entirety have all come together in one video. This is a conversation between myself and Adam and Ashley Pluff, who are husband and wife. They work together as the Battle Axe team. Before I was here, it was just the two of them. And this is really just our conversation about how they work together. And I hope that this gives you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain into who's actually working behind the scenes to make these products, to answer your support tickets, and to help you understand how to use these tools to better your workflows in After Effects and other Adobe products. So enjoy this conversation between the three of us. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and leave some comments down below. Some love for Adam and Ashley. Let's just start by talking through who we all are, because this really is Battle Axe, the three of us. This is the entire company. So could you just each kind of explain who you guys are, where you are located, and how long you've been doing this?
My name is Adam. I started Battle Axe in 2009. It became a tool company in 2015, and it has been kind of a code fiesta ever since then. A few years after that, I asked my wife to come and help me make sense of some of this stuff because it doesn't always make sense.
Yeah, what he said. It just organically happened. Adam asked me to pick his brain a little bit several years ago, and then it grew to, hey, can you help me answer emails? And then, can you help me project manage? Can you help me, and started stacking on that. And now I do merch, do emails, project manage a little bit. Adam calls me the conductor. He's also a conductor. So the thing that I like to do most is help Adam pick through his brain when he's got like huge ideas, because sometimes he has these monumental ideas. He's very, very smart. And I'm like, whoa, that is way too big of an idea. Like, I like to hear his like really awesome ideas before everybody else does. And I love to make music with him for Battle Axe, and the promos and art for t-shirts and that kind of thing. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I love the duo that the two of you have. My wife and I also work together all the time. She majored in graphic design, I minored in graphic design. So we had a lot of classes together, and just having that second voice to be and perspective to be able to see the work and bounce ideas off of is invaluable. So I love to see that Battle Axe is also that, and that you guys have been able to be partners and help each other. But I'm curious, Ashley, did you have any kind of experience with motion design or the world of animation prior to Adam?
No. I still don't know half of what he's talking about, to be honest. I've learned more throughout the years because I've had to, but no, not really. I am an artist just from learning myself. I've self-taught, but no, I don't know anything about animation. No.
And one of the things that I've found is having her not know a lot of the terminology or the history of some things is if I have an idea that I can, like, Jake, I can come to you and say, hey man, I got this idea and it's going to be like this thing, but better. And then you can immediately go, oh yeah, that's cool. That is a better idea. And then having her not maybe get those references, I have to be more clear about why that actually is something valuable, and having to bring that to her fresh without the baggage of having done this work for so long. It helps me see things a lot clearer. It forces me to be a lot more transparent and be honest about what this thing actually is. And I found that to be one of the most useful parts of this. Her not knowing all of the ins and outs of the Adobe apps has been really, really helpful.
I totally agree with that whole concept, because I mean, my job is to explain concepts to people, teach people how to understand this thing. And Same thing. If I can explain to my mom what I'm trying to explain to my YouTube audience and she gets it, then I'm like, okay, I'm doing my job. Yeah, so I totally get it. Now, how much of a background in music do you both have? Like, how far back was it that you started dabbling in making your own music?
I played the French horn for a very long time, so I can pick up instruments and things very easily. I mean, I'm not bragging on myself, but sometimes it comes very naturally for me to just pick something up and be like, oh, I can play that, or I can read this kind of music, whatever.
It's been super frustrating because I am not like that at all.
Yeah.
I work so hard to get average results, and then I'll say, hey, check this thing out, and then she'll poke around at it and make something 100 times better than I did.
Whoops.
I go, okay, I guess we're going to work together and make music now because I can't do this as good as you can.
I don't know why. I mean, I've always just picked up music super naturally. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really enjoy making music with Adam. But yeah, I played French horn for a very long time. And then for a short while, I tried to play the ukulele, but didn't really care. Sometimes I pick it up still, but don't really care about it. But when he started playing like modular synthesizers, that's when I started getting more into that genre of things. He will bring something home and then I just pick at it, and he gets annoyed with me because I pick it up faster. But I do like it a lot. So it's been several years. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I think it started in COVID times. We were just we were at home
COVID.
a lot, and I was collecting more and more gear and just trying to show her because I was excited, and then she would play on it and it would sound better than when I was playing on it. And it has helped me become a lot more humble, thinking that I don't have to do everything myself. That's been actually a really helpful thing too, is being in this spot by myself for so long, thinking that I need to do everything myself. That's been, I guess, the theme for me over the past year or so, is learning that other people and other people's voices are actually really helpful and can help me bring something bigger to life that I wouldn't be able to do on my own.
Yeah, I totally understand that too. Going back to like working with my wife, I could bust out a Skillshare class in, a couple of days, but then when it came time to like, I need to brand this, I need a title graphic, like I would get so like exhausted from the recording and editing process. And then my wife would come in and she'd be like, well, here, let's work on the typography. And she'd help me lay stuff out and pick colors. And it's a really great support system, I guess. I don't want to diminish the role. Like it's integral to my workflow to have her and to get her help. So I don't want to say that she's just there for support. She's really a big part of what I do. And it sounds like the same thing between you two. I'm curious, what was the first project that the two of you actually collaborated on? And was music what you collaborated on?
Well, since we've been together, we constantly make up little jokes and make up little songs, not like with music, but we'll just make up really silly songs. Since we've been dating, we always have just done it together just to make each other laugh. And then we'll come up with names for things that is nonsense, complete nonsense. But it's really just to make each other laugh. We laugh a lot together. And so I guess the first Battle Axe thing was probably the Time Lord VO. I think that was when we really started actually kind of working on some of these things together and kind of smushing brains together to try to come up with something that was a little bit more than just what I was envisioning. But that was, just asked you to work on the VO with me for Time Lord. Okay,
so for that project, it was just the VO that you two worked on, not the music, but just the VO on that one?
I had the music done for that one for a while, and then it was coming out we were releasing it in November, but we wanted to do something for Halloween. So that was the first, I guess, music that you kind of helped me jam on. And we just wanted to do like a little teaser thing. And we had our son, who I guess was he 6, 7 at the time. I don't know how old he was. I can't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah,
but he was
6 or
little.
7.
He was little, and we dressed him up in a wizard robe and had him wander around in the forest.
Right, I remember
and
that.
And then we did our best John Carpenter impersonation to try to get that, like the spooky arpeggio thing going on for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was when we first started kind of playing around with that. And we had no intention of doing anything beyond
together.
that. It was just
Yeah.
oh, hey, what do you think about this? Oh, hey, what if you did this? And then that was where that
Yeah.
kind of came.
Yeah.
That's so fun. And so after completing that, did you kind of get the spark of like, this is a lot of fun, we should do more of this? Or
Yeah.
is that kind of when you kind of had that thought?
I told Adam, I was like, what if we started doing this? I mean, I didn't want to step on his toes because he has a very, I don't know, his brain is just so big and has so many ideas constantly going. And I didn't want to step on any ideas that he already had going, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to get in there so bad. I was like, I want to do this. And I know that you have just a vast knowledge of instruments that I want to learn too at that time. Do you want to start playing more together? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. Right?
Yeah,
So
I'm
what
super
happened?
independent, and I've always just been very independent. I'm an only
Yeah.
child, and I've always just kind of kept myself from being bored by just learning new things and trying new experiments and hobbies. And so I was in a band for a little bit, but even then I sort of just kept to myself and had my own idea. The parts of the music that I was responsible for, I didn't really ask anybody's help on, even though I was in a band. So I've always just kind of kept to myself, and I never thought that she would want to jump in on the weird nerdy stuff I was doing with music. And when she asked, I didn't, it kind of caught me off guard, but I was actually kind of excited about it because we spend a lot of time together, but during like work hours, I'm kind of just focused, and being able to kind of bring her into that was actually really exciting.
Yeah, I totally get that too. I kind of just having enough conversations with you, Adam, at this point, I kind of get that sense that loner part of you does kind of come out a bit, but you are starting to realize, like, I feel like in these interviews I've done with you, you've come to realize, like, this person wouldn't want to do this. Oh wait, yeah, they do. Like, I think the world that you've created with Battle Axe is something that people want to participate in. And it's not just a transactional relationship where people are buying these tools. It's something that's completely changing the way that they're working. Overlord is the easiest example of just taking a really stupidly complex process and turning it into a button click. Like, that changes the way that people work. And I think that inherently makes the user want to be part of what you're doing. So yeah, I think it's good that you're starting to kind of catch that bug of like, yeah, maybe people do want to be part of this. And I'm seeing that kind of growth come out of you. So I just want to say that a little bit.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I think I've got kind of a self-deprecating view on the work that I do, that why would anybody care about this thing that I'm doing over here? And I think there's a fine line between humility and self-deprecation, and I think I veer towards the latter more often than not, thinking that no one is actually interested in this thing. But it's very, I guess, healthy to start having people around me that can help bring some of these ideas and bring completely new ideas, which I would have never hit on without these people, you people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's learning that, and I'm very proud of him for letting people help. I mean, 5 years ago, he would not have asked anyone to help him. Honestly, he would have been doing 80, 90 hours a week by himself, working at Google and doing this too. I mean, killing himself. But now he's like asking for help. I mean, he's grown a lot. So
yeah.
You saying those things probably means a lot to him.
Good.
Because I
I'm
say
glad.
it all the time, but
Yeah. No.
it means
Get
more,
it.
it means more when it comes from other, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So we talk about the last project that or the first project that really got you guys interested in working together more, especially with the music. Was it Anubis that came next? Did you guys work together on that one at all?
We didn't do any of the music on that one.
Okay.
That one that we still hadn't really. I mean, Time Lord felt kind of like a one-off with the voiceover thing, and then it wasn't like we had the idea. This is what Battle Axe is going to sound like now. It just seemed like
Yeah.
it fit for that particular thing. And then as we got going on the Anubis project, it sort of just was. We hadn't planned it, but it became kind of assumed. Like, well, we're gonna do the weird VO thing again, right? And we're like, yeah, well, of course, of course we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then that became part. And I think we kind of like it's almost become kind of like a character at this part that narrates the universe of Battle Axia. And yeah, that was no music on that one, but that was it. It sort of just became, that was where the VO style, that weird double vocal thing became what we do.
Right. So then the next project would have been Rubber Hose 3, right?
There was one project in between that.
Yeah, there was.
That was what actually gave us the idea, like, oh, we could actually really do music together. It was for the Cyber Week sale.
Oh, yes.
Little Instagram clips. So we normally just make whatever music we need exactly for, like, whatever it's the 20 seconds we need. But for that one, we decided, why don't we try to actually do a song together? Let's try to actually finish something, because we would doodle around together and never really finish anything. But that was the point where we decided, let's actually try to put together a real song. And that was where we came up with the title of Runecaster for what we were going to do together. And that was when we first started playing music and trying to compose songs together.
And so what is the process, the creative process of composing together look like? Because I have a music background in the sense that my mom has been a piano teacher my whole life. But that's my background. Is I learned piano at an early age. I moved on to guitar, and then eventually bass was my instrument of choice. But I've never had to compose music, and especially not with someone else. I'm just curious what that creative process even looks like. How does it start? How do you work together? Are you bouncing back and forth? What does that look like?
Normally Adam will come and tell me what he's thinking, like whatever the project is first. And then we'll talk about ideas. And then he goes in one area and I go in another area. Like, we don't do it together. We've tried that before and it didn't really work. Like, because he has ideas, I have ideas, and then it just becomes like a blah. So for this one, you want to talk about what the...
Yeah, I mean, I would love to be the person who sits down and just writes music for fun, but there aren't enough hours in the day. So really it comes down to, we have a project that we need music for. So let's try to use this as an excuse to make a song that we can have that will live out after the project. That's kind of the attitude that we've come into with this. Just use this as the motivation to get a song done. So I'll usually sit down and think about what write a bit of a sound brief for what we are trying to communicate with this. So with the Rubber Hose promo, the vibe was movement. And up until this point, all the other promos have just been kind of like atmospheric stuff that builds to the title card, which has worked for those. But for this, because we knew we wanted there to be kind of walk cycles, and the attitude was forward movement. And yeah, we wanted to build because that's kind of part of what we like with the music, but it needed to kind of be going from the beginning, just have like a movement to it. So I sat down and came up with a bit of a beat and just kind of a sonic atmosphere, but I had no idea what was going to happen melodically, because that's where I've learned that I struggle with that, where she just gets melody a lot better than I can. So I kind of worked on the overall vibe of it and then bounced it off of her. Like, does this feel right? Does it know it feeling you having experienced the battle axe sound? Does this feel like battle axe? Because we're all changing and we're all growing, and it can be hard to kind of grow with what you're trying to make while also staying true to whatever the vibe you've done before, because some people may not even know, and they may watch the promos in sequence. So we wanted to kind of feel cohesive but also feel like something new. And that was when I brought the idea to her to ask, do you think this could work? What do you think we could do with this?
Yeah. And then whatever you had brought to me, I thought it sounded good, but I knew we could change it and make it sound even better. So I went and wrote my piece with my little OPZ thing that I have. Like, this is my little favorite thing.
Yes.
Little guy.
Mine too.
I have a whole bunch of little things that I can show you that I really like, but that's my favorite little thing. So I played around on that on my phone, just recorded on my phone, and took it to Adam, and I was like, does any of this sound good? And he was like, yeah, it does sound good. And then he changed what things did you change?
I chopped up what you had and kind of got it on the grid, and then looped a few parts to give it kind of a pattern feel to it. But then that completely changed how I saw the music moving and what needed to evolve. So I just cut multiple instruments out of what I had already done just to give space to that, so that it had room to be and to like allow that to lead the energy of the piece forward, because it seemed to fit much better than what I had going on before. And it sunk up with Reese's visuals, and that led to giving just a lot more energy than what I had done on my own. And I wouldn't have gotten there if I hadn't roped her in to helping rewrite the whole thing.
Yeah. I, again, completely understand the whole dynamic between you two, because I think, Adam, I am a little bit more like you musically, in the sense that I'm not coming up with these great melodies that just sound great off the bat. Like, that's not what I do. And for those watching, I was actually gifted an OPZ, the same little synthesizer that Ashley just held up after Rubber Hose 3. And the whole approach of making music with that, a little synthesizer and a sequencer, it's like programming music, and it just makes so much more sense to me. With my bass guitar, like, I'm pretty good at mimicking other music, but you're not going to know Jake Bartlett because of the bass playing. Like, I'm not going to be the signature sound, but the fact that I can just doodle around on this little compact device that I can take anywhere and just make mistakes and change things on the fly and easily get rid of it and start over. Like, it's so freeing musically from my part, the way my brain works, being able to approach something at more of a, almost like I'm working with pre-comps and After Effects. It's all procedural. I can modify things. I can take them back. I can hide things. Like, it just feels so much more in tune to the way that I work. And so, yeah, you actually being able to come in and take that role of, okay, now we're going to make it sound like really good. Like, we're going to add the actual backbone that, brings it all together. This thing that Adam kind of coded to work as the basis of a track. And now you can come in and put in the melodies and really bring everything together. But then again, Adam, you're bouncing back and forth. Adam then took that and, like you said, chopped it up and made it all fit the piece. I really love that dynamic between the two of you.
And I think there's something to be said for programming music versus playing music, and the different kind of mindsets that you have to come into for both of those things, that neither one is better than the other, but they can both really serve to elevate a project much higher than just doing one or the other. And I think that the programming music thing, I think that speaks a little bit to the motion design brain that like, because to do motion design, you're riding that line between artistic and technical. You're pushing numbers around, but to achieve pretty video. Like that's not normal, and it takes a special kind of brain to do that. And I think the types of brains that are cool with that way of working, that way of artistic expression, kind of work a little bit more on the I'm going to iteratively work on creating this thing, whereas people who will sit down and put brush strokes to paper, those are the types of people that are more players of music and can just jam out a melody that feels good a lot quicker. So that's definitely what she's brought to the music.
So are there any other musical devices or instruments that you like to use when you're making this music? I know Adam has a whole, like we can see some of it in the background here, a whole plethora of modular stuff, but Ashley, what do you like to use when you're actually composing these melodies?
Okay, so I showed the one that was like my favorite, but okay. Sorry. This guy it's called the Micro Freak.
Okay.
I really like this. Adam just recently gifted it to me, and it's kind of like the OPZ, but bigger, and like it has a little keyboard, microphone, and just it's got a lot more power and things with it.
Cool.
And also this has a story behind it. The story behind it goes, Adam collects guitar pedals, and I saw a guitar pedal that was really expensive that I wanted, but for no reason, because I don't play guitar pedals and don't have a guitar, so why would I want it? But it had Miku on it, and Miku is, I don't know if you know who Miku is.
I don't.
It's an anime girl that there's a stupid song that, I don't know, please look it up. I'm sure some people will know who it is. But the guitar pedal was like $700 or $800. It was insane. And Adam was like, no, we're not getting that. My son is obsessed with the song by Miku. But anyway,
it's like a 3D vocal synthesized female singer person. She's like a robot. She's a computer.
Okay.
Music.
I think I may have heard of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how long ago was this? Like maybe a week?
Couple weeks ago,
week
yeah.
Or two ago. He found this little Miku thing. I don't even know what it is really. But it's her voice singing So I haven't made anything with it, but I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
So those are my 3 favorite little things right now that I like to play around with. I have a deck too, like a module, like a deck that he made me, but it's too hard for me to remember all the stuff because of my MS. So it does have dust on it, I'm not gonna lie. But these 3 things I really like a lot.
She does better at playing, and so we just you gotta kind of lean into the areas that you can express yourself better, and that's where we found just that she does better at just playing things, and then we work together to make something out of it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of what goes into the promos and advertisements, all the stuff that we're seeing on social media. It's been, I think, really eye-opening. I love that the 3 of us get to be all together in this video and, get to show people what Battle Axe really looks like. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you so much, Jake. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Jake.
Again, I just want to say thank you so much to Adam and Ashley for taking the time to talk to me, and this conversation was just such a joy for me to actually be able to put here on my channel. If you want to see more videos like this one, I'm really interested in doing more interviews like this, so if there's another developer of a tool that you use, I would love to reach out to them and get them here on my channel and kind of see how they approach developing tools for motion designers. So again, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Leave a comment down below if you want to hear me talk to somebody else, and thank you so so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.
Edmund Watson.